Mahila, the old radius was 617 point something. That's the old radius of Betelgeuse. I think it changed. It changed when I got a seal with the stars. So it's different now. Okay, but it was 617. That's why I say that. And Betelgeuse just as a whole represents that stuff because it's Paul Walker, and Paul Walker would always stand when that stuff was going on in his scenes, in his films. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. If it doesn't show up, it's because that's the that's the new throne of God for the man child. Like that's like covered where he's gonna go, because it's part of Orion, and Orion is World War Hulk God. So that's probably where he's going to go. If I had to say it, I'd say we're going to do it by the book and what we covered, like what I covered. I have to be brazen walls about it. So I think he's going to go to that constellation. And he's gonna go the radius of Betelgeuse because it changed. And so I'm talking about the man child. My son. So um, like when I was in Hong Kong, I had a son, and I'm not really able to be with him right now. But I love him, and I only wish him the best. I know he's doing big things and swimming and everything, and um, his mom really took a good care of him and really raised him right, and like she got out of Hong Kong, like that was, I think that was for the best, and he knows English, like, and she knows English. I mean, it just really, like, really, when I look at it, it's like I'm thrilled, like I'm so thrilled, like I couldn't be happier. um And even when I met him that summer, there was no like pressure. Like it was just good, and like he kind of called me out, for showing some of my ancestry of my foster parents, and like when my dad does stuff. So I know he's ready to go, and I know God has big plans for him when we get past this Benjamin living seal. And like I know that I don't want him to be like me, how I was with Obama and Phelps and Ryan Lochte, and I didn't want him to be like that, like separate from the group. I didn't want him to be like a he bear or something like that. I wanted him to be with us, and I wanted him to bring peace to the world, like on a big scale. Like I wanted him to be a symbol, like with us both, and so that's what it is. And also, like, that baby that died in Israel was part of the purple carnage, and like I don't look at that lightly. Like, I have to be brazen walls. Like, I K'd the whole situation with that hospital in Gaza, and there was only one baby that died. It's like I kept one for myself, like Django. Like, God was speaking to me because I always liked that Attack of the Clones film, and like it made sense. And then today they tried to say there were more babies that died and stuff, but like, in the moment, it was just the one baby that died. It was just the one, and it was like God was saying for my city, like there's one that I got to keep for myself, like, and that died for a reason. It wasn't like a ritual killing, or like it wasn't a sacrifice or something. It was like he died for a reason, that was God's, and none of my other ones have been ritual either, of the Baal Shalisha, which is my deal parameter. So just remember that, and I've done nothing like weird with the ritual stuff. I've just had to get past some burdens sometimes. Like I cut my toes and cut my fingertips one time, like 10 fingers, 10 toes, stayed down, like I have to do weird shit sometimes to get past because of, the JLA type bands that were on my forearms that Ben V prophesied about. And like when I was a kid and I was dunked in Thyatira, like from a baby, and like just getting through all the curses that were put on me from, my family that I grew up with. Like, I was never around my real family. Like I've had to do and find out everything on my own, and I've had help from the Watchmen to do it. And like, um, like I don't really call it like government name or something. I just say like, no, this is what it is really. And a lot of it is like the children of Michael, like the Daniel 12, like that's definitely real. And a lot of them are really keen on the statistics of it. They're like statisticians, like they know like all the details of how they've been killed and haunted their whole life. I don't really try to keep up with all that. Like I've done a lot of burdens, like because of the seals that I got when I was a kid, and I don't look at it like, well, he was a child star, he did big things when he was a child. Like what I grew up, like I grew up like Cody says, I'm not really like that. That's not me. I'm not really like that. Like I just, I did big things when I was an adult too. It just, it's a lot of it's like the Kingsmen photos on the wall. A lot of it's like that. Thank you. Have a good night.